The door to the conference room swung open with a pneumatic hiss, and there she was, my sister Elena, perched at the head of a gleaming mahogany table like a queen on her throne. Her eyes, those sharp hazel daggers we'd inherited from Mom, locked onto mine with a mix of triumph and something darker, something I'd never seen before. Flanking her were two lawyers in crisp suits, their briefcases splayed open like predatory jaws, papers spilling out in accusation. "Sign it, Alex," she said, her voice silky smooth but laced with venom, sliding a thick contract across the table. "Or I'll ruin you. Every secret, every mistake. I'll drag it all into the light." My stomach plummeted, a cold sweat breaking out on my skin as the room's fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, amplifying the pounding in my temples. $40,000. For her goddamn wedding. And she was holding our family's skeletons hostage to get it. I stood there, frozen in the doorway of the downtown law firm, the scent of stale coffee and polished leather assaulting my senses. How had it come to this? Elena, my little sister, the one I'd protected through Dad's drunken rages and Mom's endless absences. The girl I'd loaned money to for college, covered for when she crashed the family car, even lied to her ex about her whereabouts to keep her safe. And now this ambush. She'd lured me here under the pretense of family business, a quick meeting to discuss our inheritance from Grandma's estate. But as I scanned the document, pages of legalese demanding I liquidate my savings, my emergency fund, all for her lavish destination wedding in Bali, I felt a rage ignite in my chest, hot and primal, like gasoline meeting a spark. "Elena, what the hell is this?" My voice cracked, betraying the hurt before the anger could fully mask it. I stepped forward, my shoes squeaking on the linoleum floor, and grabbed the contract. The paper felt heavy, official, as if it carried the weight of our fractured bond. One of the lawyers, a balding man with wire-rimmed glasses, cleared his throat. "Mr. Rivera, your sister has evidence of certain irregularities in your financial dealings. Tax evasions from your freelance work, perhaps. And that incident with a client last year, the one involving the forged signatures. We're prepared to file if you don't comply." My mind reeled. How did she know? The tax thing was a stupid mistake. A few underreported gigs during a rough patch after my divorce. And the forgery. That was her idea. Back when she needed quick cash for her startup, and I doctored some documents to help her secure a loan. She'd sworn it was our secret, a sibling pact. Heartbreak clawed at me, a deep, aching wound that made my vision blur. I looked at her, searching for the sister I knew, the one who'd cried on my shoulder after her first heartbreak. But her face was a mask. Lips pursed, chin lifted, nails tapping rhythmically on the table like a countdown to my destruction. "I can't believe you're doing this," I whispered, sinking into a chair opposite her. The leather creaked under me, cold against my back. Humiliation burned in my throat. I felt exposed like a child caught in a lie, but I was the one being betrayed. "After everything. I raised you when Mom couldn't. I gave up my dreams so you could have yours." She leaned forward, her perfume, sweet vanilla with an undercurrent of something sharp, wafting over me. "That's the problem, Alex. You've always played the martyr. But now it's my turn. Jake and I deserve this wedding. We've planned it for years. And you're sitting on that money from Grandma like it's yours alone. Sign it and we're even. Refuse and those emails, those records, they go public. Your career as a graphic designer. Over. Your reputation. Shredded." The words hit like punches, each one stirring a storm of resentment. I thought of our childhood home, the cramped apartment in Queens where the walls echoed with Dad's slurred curses. I dropped out of art school to work 2 jobs, ensuring Elena could finish high school without the same burdens. Heartbreak twisted into anger. How dare she weaponize our past? One lawyer slid a pen toward me, its metallic click echoing like a gavel. I stared at it, fantasies flashing through my mind, grabbing it and stabbing through the contract, screaming until security dragged me out. But doubt crept in. What if I fought? Could I afford a lawyer? Would exposing her backfire, dragging us both down? "I need time," I muttered, pushing the pen away. My hands trembled, palms slick with sweat. Elena's eyes narrowed, a flicker of impatience crossing her face. You have until tomorrow. Don't make me do this, brother. The word brother dripped with mockery, fueling my obsession. As I stormed out, the city's cacophony, honking taxis, distant sirens, mirrored the chaos in my head. Rain slicked the sidewalks, soaking through my sneakers, but I barely noticed. All I could think was, she'll pay for this. That night, in my tiny Brooklyn studio, the walls closed in. The air was thick with the smell of takeout containers and unwashed laundry, remnants of my post-divorce slump. I paced the creaky floorboards, replaying the scene. Denial gripped me first. Maybe it was a joke, a desperate bluff. But no, Elena had always been ambitious, her moral compass bending when opportunity knocked. She'd climbed the corporate ladder at her marketing firm, stepping on toes without remorse. Guilt gnawed at me. Had I enabled this? By always bailing her out, had I created this monster? I poured a whiskey, the burn down my throat matching the fire in my gut. Sitting at my desk, surrounded by sketches and half-finished designs, I opened my laptop. Searches for family extortion and legal recourse yielded nothing helpful. Too broke for a fight, too entangled in her web. Resentment festered, turning to cold resolve. What if I turned the tables? Exposed her secrets. She had plenty. The affair with her boss that got her promoted, the embezzlement from her startup that I'd helped cover. But revenge felt dirty, a betrayal of my own. Moral conflict tore at me. Was I becoming like her? Or was this justice? Sleep evaded me, the city's neon glow filtering through thin curtains, casting shadows that danced like accusing fingers. By dawn, obsession took hold. I sketched out plans, not violent but surgical. Ruin her wedding, her reputation, without direct confrontation. Fear whispered warnings. What if she retaliated harder? But the humiliation from that conference room fueled me. I texted her. Fine. Sign. Meet me at the old park tomorrow noon. Alone. Her reply was swift. Smart choice. Little did she know this was just the beginning. The park was a ghost of our childhood. A rusted swing set creaking in the wind, overgrown paths crunching underfoot with fallen leaves. The autumn air carried the scent of damp earth and distant hot dog vendors, a nostalgic punch that twisted my gut. Elena arrived in designer heels, clicking against the pavement, her coat cinched tight against the chill. No lawyers this time, she'd bought my bluff. Here, I said, handing her a folded check for $40,000. Fake, of course, drawn from a closed account. My heart raced, palms clammy as she unfolded it. But this is it, Elena. No more threats. She smiled, that predatory gleam returning. See. Was that so hard? As she tucked it away, I probed gently. Why though? Jake's loaded. Why me? Her facade cracked slightly, a sigh escaping. Jake's family cut him off. Gambling debts. The wedding's our fresh start, but we need the cash. Vulnerability flickered, but she masked it quickly. Anyway, thanks, big bro. She hugged me, stiff, perfunctory, and left, heels fading into the distance. Back home, the real planning began. I dug into her life, using old passwords she'd shared years ago. Her email revealed more. Not just the affair, but bribes to secure contracts, texts plotting to sabotage a colleague. Guilt surged. Invading her privacy felt wrong, but so did her betrayal. Doubt plagued me. Was revenge worth losing the last shreds of family? Fantasies of justice warred with fear. What if I got caught? Days blurred into a haze of quiet calculation. I avoided her calls, letting tension build. At night, I'd stare at the ceiling, heartbeat echoing like a ticking bomb. Obsession grew. Every memory of our shared laughs twisted into fuel for vengeance. I contacted an old friend, a hacker from my freelance days, under the guise of hypothetical advice. How would one anonymously leak emails? His response was cautious but helpful. Moral grayness enveloped me. I wasn't destroying her life, just exposing the truth. Right. The wedding approached, invitations arriving like taunts. Elena's voice messages pleaded for reconciliation. Alex, come on. It's family. Suppressed rage boiled beneath my calm replies. I attended the rehearsal dinner, an opulent affair in a Manhattan loft, crystal chandeliers tinkling like laughter at my expense. Jake, her fiancé, shook my hand firmly, his cologne overpowering. Thanks for helping out, man. Elena pulled me aside, her whisper urgent. The check bounced. What game are you playing? My pulse quickened, a thrill of power. Must be a bank error. I'll fix it. But inside, cold resolve hardened. That night, I uploaded the files to an anonymous forum, timed for release on her wedding day. Fear gripped me. What if it backfired? Guilt whispered of forgiveness, but resentment drowned it out. The slow burn ignited. Revenge was underway. The Bali sun beat down mercilessly as I stepped off the plane, the humid air wrapping around me like a suffocating embrace. Palm fronds rustled in the breeze, carrying the salty tang of the ocean, but paradise felt tainted. I'd flown in uninvited, using miles from a credit card I'd maxed out, part of the financial hole Elena had dug for me. The resort buzzed with pre-wedding excitement, laughter echoing from poolside bars, floral scents mingling with sunscreen. But I moved like a shadow, checking into a budget room far from the main villas, my laptop my only companion. Obsession had morphed into a cold, calculated machine. Every step forward deepened the moral chasm within me. That first night, jet lag kept me awake, the ceiling fan whirring like accusatory whispers. Inner conflict raged. Elena's betrayal justified this, didn't it? Yet guilt clawed. She was blood, flawed but human. Fantasies of her humiliated face warred with doubt. What if exposure destroyed more than her wedding? I reviewed the plan. The leak would hit social media at dawn tomorrow, just as guests arrived. Emails detailing her affair, embezzlement, even a confession about framing a coworker. I'd forged nothing, just amplified her sins. But was I any better? Morning brought a text from Elena. Where are you? Rehearsal starts soon. I ignored it, slipping into the crowd at the beach setup. White chairs lined the sand, waves crashing rhythmically, a symphony to my building tension. She spotted me from afar, her sundress fluttering, face paling. Alex, you came. Her hug was tentative, eyes searching mine for threats. Yeah, I replied, voice steady despite the storm inside. Wouldn't miss it. We walked the shore, bare feet sinking into warm sand, the sun glinting off the water like shattered glass. Dialogue flowed naturally at first. Small talk about the venue, Jake's nerves. But tension simmered. About the money, she said softly, stopping to face me. I'm sorry for the lawyers. I was desperate. Jake's debts. They're worse than I said. Mob ties, Alex. If we don't pay, they'll come for us. Her confession hit like a wave, revealing layers I'd ignored. Heartbreak resurfaced. She'd been scared, not just greedy. But resentment flared. Why not ask honestly? You threatened to ruin me, I said, suppressed rage leaking through. Our secrets, Elena. You used them like weapons. Tears welled in her eyes, mascara streaking. I know. Panic. Forgive me. Manipulation or genuine remorse. Doubt clouded my resolve. We parted awkwardly, her pleading gaze haunting me back to my room. As the day wore on, I hesitated over the publish button, fingers hovering. Moral conflict peaked. Revenge felt petty now, tainted by her vulnerability. But humiliation from the ambush replayed, fueling obsession. I hit send, the upload bar crawling like a fuse. No turning back. The wedding eve party pulsed with music, tiki torches flickering against the twilight sky. Laughter and clinking glasses masked my isolation. I nursed a drink in the shadows, watching Elena mingle. Jake pulled her close, whispering something that made her laugh, a sound that twisted my gut. Guilt surged. Was I about to shatter innocence too? Fear of consequences gripped me. What if the mob she mentioned targeted me? Midnight struck and the leaks went live. My phone buzzed with notifications as forums erupted. I watched from afar as Elena's face drained of color, checking her device. Whispers spread like wildfire through the guests, colleagues, friends, even Jake's family. "Is this true?" someone murmured. Elena confronted me in a secluded garden, the air thick with jasmine and betrayal. "You did this," she hissed, voice breaking. "How could you? You started it," I shot back, anger boiling over. "Ambushing me, threatening ruin. This is justice." Her slap stung, palm connecting with a sharp crack. "Justice. You're destroying everything." Tears streamed, revealing raw pain. Jake stormed in, face thunderous. "What the hell, man? Those emails. My family's seeing this shit." Chaos ensued. Guests departed in hushed outrage, the resort staff scrambling. Elena's boss called, firing her on the spot. Jake's debts surfaced publicly, drawing unwanted attention. But as the night unraveled, a twist emerged. Elena collapsed, sobbing confessions. "I set you up, Alex. The forgery. I planted evidence to blackmail you if needed. But the mob, they're real. And now you've exposed us all." Shock jolted me. Her manipulation ran deeper than I'd imagined. Cold resolve cracked, replaced by horror. The mob had endangered us. Sirens wailed in the distance, not for the wedding, but for Jake, arrested on outstanding warrants triggered by the leaks. In the aftermath, back in New York, the city lights blurred through rain-streaked windows. Elena disowned me, her life in ruins. Divorced, jobless, hiding from creditors. But victory tasted ashes. Guilt consumed me. I'd sought revenge, but the twist was poetic. My actions mirrored her betrayal, leaving me isolated, obsessed with what I'd lost. Resentment faded to regret, a hollow echo. In the end, the greatest ruin was my own soul.